All right, welcome guys to our first ever Super Saturday training over here at JIFU with the Wellness Legacy Movement community. Super excited for this opportunity to continue expanding and growing. And today is just kind of to get our baseline of like, how does everything work? What is the onboarding? Making sure everyone's on the same page, getting all your questions answered before those questions come up, making sure that you guys know how to utilize everything that we've put in place as of this week, as well as like how to fully launch this. Because every one of you here, it has the plan to go out and build this business, create the legacy, be a part of the movement that we're creating. And so we just want to make sure, like all of our dots are crossed on our end and making sure you guys know exactly what you're looking at, what you're doing, making sure you're onboarded to everything and you know exactly how the products work. So I'm going to first start off by, kind of walking us through the onboarding system. So if I can just see some like thumbs up when you guys see my screen. Okay, amazing. So basically, with everything in JIFU, right, we want to make sure that you are onboarded correctly. So we are currently working on getting our own onboarding system, but for the time being, we are utilizing this system here. So can anyone type a 2 in the chat if you do not have access to this onboarding system just yet? Just want to make sure everyone knows revoltacademy.com is the onboarding system that we're using. And if there is someone that doesn't have access to that yet, please let me know and we'll get you access to it. So with this, I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through, like as you're coming in and as you're getting through everything, if you haven't gone through and done this yet, you will go to revoltacademy.com. You'll click fast start. There will be a password. The password is diamond. I'm going to just type it in the chat for those of you who don't have it. And then what you will do is your first step is goal setting. So it's obviously super important to set an intention, to set a goal, to know exactly why you're doing this and what you are in this for, because your why is going to be what makes you continue showing up for this. So visualizing, your 1 month breakdown, 3 months, 6 month, 1 year, where you are headed and setting that intention for yourself before diving into everything is going to be huge. So go into this goal setting breakdown. So then once you are through that, then you go to step 2. So step 2, you can skip. That is just a community that we are, obviously leveraging their onboarding system, but this isn't like going to be our community moving forward. So you can skip this step in itself. But when you go to step 3, primarily all of us are focusing first on the Forex side. So Forex is just day trading. That is how we've kind of gone through our challenge accounts before. That's how you've traded your live money. So you'll click on the Forex part and then it'll prompt you to then download the JIFU Connect app. So that's going to be where the easy trade is. That's going to be where the trade alerts are. That's basically the social media platform for trading where you can follow people, you can like their posts, you can comment on everything. And so from there, you will be able to just access all of the products and services just at your fingertips in an app, which is really cool. And then there's a video that'll walk you through how you can utilize the app, get it all set up. It'll also walk you through how to take their trade ideas and trade alerts from the app. And then they basically walk you through like what educators are suggested to follow. So Nick Gomez and Daniel Lopez, I believe, primarily focus on the crypto side. Manny and Jay, they are primarily on the Forex side, and a few others on here. I'm just very familiar with those 4 individuals. And so in those videos, it'll actually walk you through how can you subscribe, how can you follow, all of the things like that. So when you go through that step, you'll click go to next step. And then from there, it will walk you through Coinbase. So if you didn't have Coinbase before, I would highly recommend getting it now. If you need any help with that, please reach out to any of the leaders who have been within this space to help you get that set up. Coinbase is just going to be primarily used not only for long-term investing with crypto, but also like an exchange where you can receive money if you're trading your own live money with crypto. It's kind of a crypto exchange. We can walk you through that on a step-by-step basis, but primarily having the Coinbase account is going to be huge. Liquid brokers and liquid charts, we actually have an entire like breakdown of that we are working on getting into our chats, and I'm going to show you guys about that. But liquid charts is where you can have a demo account as well as a live account to trade your own live money. So it'll walk you through like how to get started with it, as well as how to take trades on it. Because if you guys are familiar with Trade Locker, it's just slightly different in terms of like how to place trades and how to manage them, as well as just the taking trade process itself. It'll walk you through how do you take those trades. So TradingView, I know a lot of you are really familiar with. You can get set up on TradingView here. You don't need to fully watch that. I know we as a team are going to have like our own breakdowns as well, because we still are going to have our own team value and our own team calls with TradingView. So we will also be working on getting that out to you guys, but you can use that for the time being. Today, we're actually going to go hands-on live overview of the JIFU 2.0, but we have a recorded video in the onboarding system as well. And so you can finish like the educational portal. Oh, it actually prompts you right to that. So you'll just continue through the onboarding system. And for those of you who are obviously familiar with affiliate marketing, network marketing, this is a good breakdown for like your customers and your people that you're currently enrolling now of like that side of the business. And what's really cool about this onboarding system is that when you click final step, they ask you if you want to be a customer or if you want to build the business. So it will actually give your customers the option of like, do you just want to come in and use the products and services, or do you want to come in and build the business? And if someone wants to build the business, you will click next steps in building the business, and it will then prompt you to the director bootcamp. What's really, really cool is they have like the option between the traditional route, which is what most of us are familiar with, you know, like creating your list, reaching out to people, creating group chats, but then they also have a social media system so that you can leverage that as well. So I'll just kind of show you guys, like, this is how you kind of navigate through this onboarding system and what to do. And so with social media, it talks about how do you launch, how you can set up your entire page, what product you're going to do, have a personal goal, game plan, how to set up your actual account on social media. Primarily TikTok is what it is focused on. TikTok has an insane algorithm where it actually like connects you with the people who are looking for you. I love TikTok for that reason specifically. Gives you a call to action, primarily what has worked best. And I'm going to dive into this a little bit later on in this call, but funneling from TikTok to Instagram, it'll kind of go over different call to actions at that. Same with like what time to post. But then you can also go back to the traditional route. So they have videos on literally everything that's very organized on like how do you launch a business, the traditional way, how to make a list. And I think using both of these methods as a builder and as a leader is going to be huge and tremendous when it comes to launching your business and growing your business. And so basically, it goes through all of those things and it's all right in one spot. So you're not searching for all of the recordings on how to leverage everything. So that is how you kind of navigate through the onboarding system that we have. And what I wanted to show you guys is actually how we have our team chat set up. So for those of you who are not in the team chat yet, it is called JIFU X WLM. I know a lot of us were in the JIFU launch builders. You guys are all here for the full launch of this platform itself, but this is going to be our team chat that we funnel all of our people into. So when you are sending out messages, and I'm going to just actually bring this up in the JIFU launch builders chat, this is the message that you will send out to people when they first join and when they first get involved with like the platform. So like there is steps on how to enroll that is in the launch builders chat. You can send these steps out to your prospects. And once they get in, then you can send them this message and they will get added into our team chat. Once they are added into the chat, direct them to the new members start here. So when they come into the new members, there is a pinned message. This pinned message is the onboarding breakdown of everything. So it will help you create that Liquid Brokers account. We are going to add some additional steps for people who have never used Liquid Brokers before, how you go in, you verify your account, and how to create a demo account. We're going to add those additional steps coming up here in the next day or two. But then from there, it will go through the onboarding system. So exactly what I showed you guys is like the notes that we have here. Skip step 2 and go directly to step 3. So in the onboarding system, that is where it is. And then once someone has completed that and they're all the way through, they will reach out to you for their next steps. And so also what I did was have a video that walks through the chat. So you guys see as our team chat here, there is a lot of different sub chats, right? So I have pinned the new members chat, our family chat. So our family chat is where we're just going to create just our culture, you know, our team, get to know each other in the community, build up those relationships and friendships, no matter where you are in the country or in the world. And so this is going to be our family chat. Trade ideas is where we are going to post like the trade ideas that come from the JIFU Connect app. If I personally see anything, I will drop it in there as an idea. If other people are looking at things too, you can feel free to drop in there, but trade ideas, because basically we just don't want you to miss the ideas and the alerts that come out so you guys can take full advantage. So that's why it is pinned. And then also one thing that we are going to be rolling out is our own team weekly calls. And every single Sunday, we are going to be dropping a calendar of all of our team calls for the week. In this chat, we will also update like an hour before the call or 30 minutes before the call, had the links in there and tell you guys when these calls are live. So those 4, I would recommend having your notifications on for, but you can also mute and unmute different categories. So you can always feel free to mute any chats if the notifications are too much. In the video that I put in the new members chat, I actually go through how do you mute those chats, because we will have a recordings chat. So everything that we have that we are going to be doing is going to be recorded and dropped here. We also will have a YouTube channel where everything will be posted as well. But then also we just dropped yesterday, how do you use the scanners? If you guys have been into the products, how do you use scanners? So like everything will be all in one here in the recordings. If you have questions about travel or you're looking at a good deal and you want to let people know, you can drop that in the travel. Business building, we are just going to do some different mindset as well as like any personal development that we see when it comes to business building in itself. If you have questions on things, we'll have that. But if you are a big builder ready to launch, we'll get you added into the actual business building chat. We just don't want to overwhelm all of our customers with the business building side if that's something they really don't want to do, because it's optional for everyone who is here. We have results and testimonials. So if you've been using like the products, like I think this is Cole, he dropped in his like results in here as well. So as you guys are getting results, like Tiffany did here, right? She was up 2% from just using the scanners, like dropping your results in here using the products and services. Just feel free to post that in here, because we all are going to have just different results and testimonials. And we want to share that we're actually using things, right? And that we're actually getting the results. And we want to know if you guys are getting the value from it. So just posting that in there is going to be huge. Trade room, basically, if you guys have been with me from before, if we're talking about live management of trades, as well as like anything and everything when it comes to trading, this is primarily going to be our chat for a trade room. The trade ideas is just going to be trade ideas, but we'll primarily talk in the trade room to just kind of build that culture around trading. So wanted to break that down. We also have products as well. So health and wellness, you can talk about if you're using the fitness academy, if you're using the products, what you're noticing from that, different tips that you have. If you have a favorite recipe you have, just building up a culture around health and wellness is going to be huge. And then we'll also have mindset and success tips. So it's like if you're listening to a podcast, if you have affirmations, if you just want to drop some motivation, or if you're feeling like, I just am struggling with a limiting belief and I just want to know that I have other people that can help me overcome this. Like, this is a safe space and a safe community to be able to help each other work through no matter what we are getting through. And then lastly is support. So support, if you have any questions on the technical side, drop that in here, and then we will be able to either help answer your questions, direct the questions to someone else, or get you the answers. So this way, all of the support issues can be in just one sub chat. So I wanted to go through, how do you utilize our team chats, what they all are. You can unmute and mute chat so you only see what you want to see. And I just wanted to give that whole breakdown of how you can use this, not only for yourself, but for the people that you are getting into the business. So that is my part. I'm going to actually switch over to another individual on this call. He is going to go through the whole JIFU Live platform and some of the scanners. And so basically you guys can see, how do you implement and use the products and services? How do you navigate through the actual trading and educational platform? And then how can you start using the scanners as well? So Ryan is out in Wisconsin right now with the in-person meetup we have going on, and he's going to do that breakdown. So Ryan, I will let you take it away, and I'll make sure you're a co-host here. You good to go over there? Okay.
I'm working on it. Just play some music or something for a minute.
By the way, hi everybody
people
in Wisconsin. How freaking cool is that you guys are live over in Brandon's house? That's amazing.
We're having a good time.
It's a great time over here.
I wish I was there. One of these days I'll have to fly up there and do it live with y'all. Can't be too far of a flight, right?
Yeah, our vision too is, like having different teams in different locations, right? So Tiffany, you're out in Missouri. We'll start helping you build up your Missouri in-person team. Imagine meeting up on a Saturday and like we just have groups of people all across the country, all across the world that are tuning into this. Like, this is going to be huge. Like,
I love it.
We haven't even got started yet, you guys. This is going to be honestly super, super incredible to just be a part of, and be able to create that kind of culture and community that you have been wanting and needing for all of this.
Yes,
so I love that they were able to meet up in Wisconsin today. I think Adriana's literally on a soccer field right now. So we can literally do this from anywhere, which
dedication.
is
Dedication.
I love it. All right, Ryan, do you want me to share the screen? Or you got it?
If you can give me just 1 second here.
Okay.
I'm using Brandon's computer, so nothing was set up. So don't blame me.
Set up. I just set it up.
All right, here we go. Can you see it? See the screen and everything?
Yeah, I can see it. But what are you on?
JIFU Live.
No, go to jifulive.com. This is the old one.
Oh, that's why it looks different.
Yeah.
My bad, everybody. My bad. Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, basically to access all of the education, the product services, it's jifulive.com. But if you're ever in your back office and you click JIFU Academy or JIFU Education, basically you will just click JIFU Live and it'll prompt you to this page. And so that is already hyperlinked in the back office, especially for affiliates. So Ryan, I'll let you dive into how to navigate this.
All right, here we go. Finally got to it. So this is your JIFU Live main page where you would start to go for anything going on during the week by the educators. And for a lot of us, it is mainly Forex or crypto, but I will start on the crypto side or on the Forex side here. So you just click on the Forex tab and then you can slide down. So right here, you do have your beginner module, your intermediate module, and your advanced modules, and you can go through all of those. But the nice thing is here, when you scroll down, you get the full weekly outlook on what educators are going live at what different times. And that goes, any of these, whether you're trying to learn crypto or e-commerce or more about social media, you can go through all of them and which ones work best for you and figure out a schedule or different people you would like to follow along with. The next thing I am going to hop into is the scanners, which we've all been learning about, especially Tiffany. I am not proficient as much as she is, but we're all learning here. But yes, these scanners are very helpful and they are a game changer. So definitely you want to make sure, you have the right pair that you are trying to find. Let me see here. The only reason I picked NAS is because that's all I trade. And you see, especially here on this scanner itself, this is the golden era, I believe. And it gives you your entry points and your take profits on a trade idea right here, along with your stop loss. So that is a game changer in my eyes alone. So if, let's say, you don't have time to hop on with any of the live educators, you can start messing around with these different scanners and going through the videos and learning how to use them. And yeah, that is huge because, like I said, it gives you your entry and then it gives you your take profits. You can definitely go to different time frames and it does the same thing for you. And I believe it works on all the symbols and all the pairs. So you can even do it with your Forex pairs or your indices or your crypto. But like I said, there are some more, a little more delicate ones, I believe. That one. Maybe it was the smart scanner. Yes, but you'll have to go back and watch the videos that the educators actually have for these, along with just kind of trying it by yourself. But then also, Tiffany, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the educators actually use these live while they're going. So then you can actually get a hands-on feel.
Yeah, so I actually jumped on, so I like to do the Sniper Pro. I jumped on with it's called the Snipe. Oh, I have it written down. But yes, there are live educators, and I can get that draft in the link for you, that actually focus on trading with just the scanners themselves. And they do live trades as far as like if the market reverses up into the bullish, this is where your zones would be, this is what you're looking at. But they also do it to where if it reverses down into the bear energy, how that would zone and stuff would look as well too, which I thought was really awesome, and just how to use the scanners regardless which way the market goes. And also too, some of the scanners are really great during consolidation because it shows you where those support and resistance lines are. So those of you who like to scalp NAS, it gives you that really good entry point as to where NAS is most likely going to reverse. So you can get better targeted entry points for scalping.
Perfect. Thank you.
Information on the screen.
Yes, a lot of information on the screen. But yes, that is just a general overview of how to navigate JIFU Live and to get to the scanners and to see what educators are going live at what time. So that is all I have for that. I am going to hand it back to Marissa right now. But yes, that's all I got, and thank you for bearing with me.
I appreciate it. Also, we're gonna stay over at the Wisconsin team because the next one up is actually Brandon, who's going to be, kind of walking you guys through exactly how you can launch your business in the traditional sense, like the one that we're all familiar with. He's going to give us a breakdown of exactly how we can go out and absolutely crush it on the affiliate level through just the traditional way of doing things. And Brandon has been, an incredible mentor and person within this space. He's been in this industry for the past 6 years and has built teams up to 300 plus people. He is amazing at building up culture, giving the real results and real things to each person on what it takes to go out and build a business. So Brandon, super excited to hear from you on how we can absolutely go out and crush this launch. So take it away.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Means a lot. But yeah, it's nice to connect with all you. And I'm gonna go over a little bit about how I've launched businesses in the past. I built teams of hundreds to almost thousands of people. So I'm just gonna go over kind of like how I, started and what I did. So the first thing that I always do is when launching a business or, going on, what we call as a 90-day run or, building a community is I make a list of 200 names. So I write down 200 just as a warm up. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't know 200 people. Well, that's a limiting belief because by the age of 18, you know at least 1,000 people. So, whether that's people you went to high school with, whether that's family, whether that's friends, right? Coworkers, people you've met at events, people you've played sports with, like you can think of 200 names. Okay. So like, that's the first thing I do is I just make a list and I don't prejudge people because what you're going to find out is the people that you think are going to do it aren't, and the people that you would never think would do this will. And a lot of times, like, there's been people that have, hit me up that I literally went to kindergarten with. And they're like, hey, man, like, what do you do? Like, I see you traveling. I see you making all this money online. Like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, that's a great question. Let's get on a call and let's talk about it. That's what I say. So I make that list and then I just go through it and I literally I'll try to book an in-person meeting with them, or I will, for all the warm contacts, so I would do like friends first or people first. And literally all I say is I say, "Hey, I'm working on something amazing with some amazing people. I would like you to check it out." And they're going to be like, "What is it?" And then you throw them in a group chat with your mentor or business partner, and then we literally get on a call and we break everything down for them, or we will go meet them in person and break everything down for them. And then another thing that's helped me is I post three to 5 times a day on social media. So I'll just post like my lifestyle, like whether it's like me like walking the dog or like out to eat, or making money on the charts, or just like my lifestyle around this industry, right? So I'll post on my stories and I get a lot of people that hit me up that way as well. So like building your personal brand, right? And you want your social media to look professional, right? Like you don't want to be like having a bottle in your hand and a joint in the other. Like nobody's going to want to do business with you, right? So it's like you wanna keep it professional, so like everything I post, and like for me personally, this is just some advice, is I don't post about politics, right? Because there might be somebody that has a different view on politics than me, but they come in and they, build their business to 6, 7, 8 figures, and they want to have that relationship with me if I would have like been bashing like, you know, politicians or like, you know, so like just for me, like I don't pull, you know, I have my beliefs when it comes to different things. But I don't always really post about it, right? I try to be just like caring and like show everybody that like you can come from nowhere, you know, and build this business. You know, like I've met people that were literally homeless and they built this business to 6 and 7 figures. So it's like anybody can come in and build this business, and that's why like you don't want to prejudge people. And so, um, you know, and for me, it's like I will like give everyone the opportunity, and then, but I'll also, you know, I'll look for like I really like to work with people who are established in a way. So, you know, like I'm not afraid to go talk to lawyers and doctors and um you know, people like that, and then build relationships with them because they're already business minded. And a lot of times they're open to new ideas in business because they've either have their own practice or they have their own law firm, or you know, I connect with a lot of people in real estate. You know, I love real estate. I love investing in real estate. I love the tax benefits from it. So I'll go to real estate and be like, and I will show them. And if you're new, you don't have to do this. You can just get them connected with your mentor business partner, and they will help you show people, right? We will do the work for you. But for me, it's like I like connecting with those people because I'm also passionate about real estate. So I get to show people how to scale real estate and, you know, this business, which is amazing because a lot of people like you guys know Sydney. Like she's amazing real estate agent, right? Probably one of the best real estate agents there is. And she loves this business because of the combination of, you know, networking, right? So it's a win-win for her because she networks either way, and she either sells a house or she gets to change somebody's life and teaches them how to scale financially, which is amazing. Um, so things like that, guys, is like I really like to build relationships with like high-end people, or like even people that like are in a niche that may know more than me, because it's crazy because like I've gotten people started on my team that have mentored and taught me in areas of life, which is crazy. And then you build that relationship with them and you connect with them, and all of a sudden like you're traveling the world building businesses together, which is crazy. So that's the first thing I do again is I write a list of 200 names, and then I just go through them, and then I do the 10-10 rule. So I message 10 people a day, and then I follow up with 10 people a day. I just found out like that's the easiest as far as like, because a lot of you have lives, a lot of you, you know, have kids, families, right? And it can be a lot, you know, working full time, doing this business, learning how to trade, you know, managing your investments. Like I've been there. It's a lot. So like 10 and 10 rule is just what works for me. So like I'll literally, you know, I'll throw Marissa in, you know, 10 group chats a day, and then I'll follow up with another 10 people the next day. And I just do that every day for 90 days. And that's how I kind of launch my business, is I just stay consistent. Now, some people, you know, go crazy and they message like 100 people, you know, a day for like 10 days, which is crazy. That's awesome. You can do that. But I'm telling you that more than likely you're going to get burnt out because you're going to be having to hold so many conversations, and then you have work, and then you have, you know, life, and it'll get overwhelming. But if you're just messaging 10 people a day, it's like it's not that hard to manage, right? And you can stay consistent, because the biggest thing in this industry is staying consistent, especially for the people that are watching you, right? Because they see you like getting involved in something, or like maybe you post, you know, you're trading, and it intrigues them. But the reason they don't hit you up is because they want to see if you're consistent. And that's literally why I've had people hit me up from, you know, grade school to get started, because they watched my stories for like 2 years straight, and they're like, all right, this dude just goes crazy with this. And then they finally just hit me up and they're like, hey man, like what do you do for a living? So the biggest thing is just staying consistent and like, guys, like we're going to be doing in-home events. We're going to be doing events all over, the world, right? So it's like you can always invite people to those, and then we do live presentations too as well. So those will be posted in the chat and you can literally just invite people to them. And then after the call, you just get them in the group chat, with your mentor, with your leader, and we will get them started. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. But yeah, that's exactly how I uh have launched a business over the past. And it's just like just building genuine relationships, like messaging people, like maybe if you haven't talked to them for a while, like I always ask like how you been. Like I don't even dive into business right away, right? Like because I genuinely want to build a relationship with them. So like I just genuinely see how they're doing. Like, how's the family? How's work been? Like, how you been? And then, and then you can be like, hey, listen, like, I know you're a super sharp person, and I'm working on something that I think you do really well at. I'd love to show it to you. Awesome. What is it? Boom. I throw them in a group chat. Right. So just building genuine relationships with people and then staying consistent. You guys can go build 6, 7, 8-figure business with this. So I'm gonna give it back to you, Marissa. Appreciate you guys.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Brandon, would it be possible for you to post in the group chat some ideas of things that we can shoot videos of? Because this is something that's new for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know Marissa is gonna do a whole social media breakdown too as well. So I can break down more traditional ways, and then Marissa can break down, more of the social media ways because she's really good at that. But definitely, we can definitely do that.
And how are you reaching out to the real estate agents? Are these people you know, or just people that you talking
Yeah,
to?
so honestly, like a lot of them are cold contacting them, but I will just literally hit them up, and just be like, hey, I see you do real estate. Like what part of the country do you do real estate in? And then they'll be like, oh, I'm in Texas. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, how do you think the market is there? And obviously, like they're real estate agents, so they're gonna be like, for the most part, it's good. And then I just create a relationship with them. Like one of the real estate agents, that I recently got started, I saw that he recently had a baby, and then, obviously, me and Alexis are about to have our first child. So I just said, hey, like, listen, like I saw you, I just connected with him that way. And he's like, hey man, actually, I've been watching your stories and I've been meaning to reach out to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's awesome. Like, let's connect. And then I got him started.
No, because I'm a real estate agent, I'm a mortgage broker, and I also lend money to real estate agents and other people for fixing and flipping.
Yeah, I feel like you would be very reputable with people then, and they would actually, really want to listen to you.
Yeah,
that's
I love all of
awesome.
that. And
Oh,
so
thank you.
So
Yeah,
I'll
for your
just
time.
kind of dive into a little bit too, is like when Brandon's talking about relationships, like one really, really good thing that you can do is actually start with this formula. It's called FORM. If you've not heard of it yet, this is something that's really great in terms of like, we come from a world of like everything is on social media, right? And people aren't really making those meaningful connections as much as they used to. And so FORM is really great when you're first starting to learn how to build connections with people again. So FORM, what it stands for is F, meaning family. You can connect with them on their family. Like, hey, do you have kids? Do you have a significant other? Like, what's your family situation? Like, you can kind of connect and like find those connecting forces that bring you in common with someone else so you guys can relate to each other, right? And so then you can kind of use O. O is like occupation. What do you do for work? What do you have any side businesses? What are like your passions? Do you like what you do for work? Like just building up that connection, then funneling into R, which is recreation. What do you like to do for fun? How long have you been doing it? What are some passions, hobbies, things that you want to do? Just these different things that you can get to know about someone else without feeling like you have to push the business right away. But if there's someone brand new to you, using that formula to be able to create that connection. And then lastly, M is like motivation. What are they working towards in life? Do they have big dreams, big goals that they want to accomplish? Are they happy with where they're at? Are they wanting to get their kids into a private school? Are they wanting to homeschool their kids? Are they a type of person that wants to get a big house, a big mansion, a big car? What is something that motivates them, and finding that connecting force, you know, like for example, like I love to travel, right? So if I talk with someone and they're like, oh my God, I love to travel, then we can have that in common. We can ask further questions of that, of like, where's your favorite place to travel to? Have you ever been to some place? What is your favorite place to go to that you've been this far? You know, like expanding on those questions, but using that formula is going to help you build those organic and natural like relationships with people, especially if they're brand new to you. And I really love everything that Brandon dove into. He's been incredible just at doing that one-on-one. And so what I'm actually going to do is kind of dive into different things with social media. So I am going to share my screen, and I'll be able to share this with you guys as well. So just give me a thumbs up when you guys can see my screen again. Okay, amazing. So for this, I kind of created up a 7-day social media launch that incorporates things on TikTok as well as Instagram. And then I have previously done Facebook. So for you guys that are here on this call, if you're like, I like one social media platform over the other, send me a message personally and I'll get you the right social media launch plan of what you guys can follow to plug and play and be able to just really launch this thing on social media while you're also creating those connections and doing things the traditional way. And so before I dive into the whole launch plan here, this is like just kind of the baseline of like, now you're starting something new, you're doing something new, and you're going to be posting and sharing about it. What does that look like, right? You're creating your brand identity. And so your brand identity is you, right? The more authentic and genuine you can be for yourself, the better people are going to resonate and feel your energy when they're seeing your social media posts. So the first thing that like I like to ask myself is like, well, who am I? Like, meaning like, what am I? Like basically forming myself, right? So using like the formula of like, well, okay, so in terms of family, who am I? I'm a daughter, I am a sister, right? Like I'm an aunt. Like what kind of different things in family do I have? Like kind of figuring out like who I am. So I kind of know that as my baseline, right? My occupation, what do I do for fun? What's my motivation? Because then from there, you want to map out like your pain points. Like, what is the reason why you got started doing this? Do you want more money? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to take better care of your body? Why are those reasons why you want to do this, right? What are your actual pain points? Because once you know that you have those pain points, you also know that you're not the only one that experiences them, right? So now you're starting to form like your audience and like who you're talking to, because you're first figuring out who you are. Now you're figuring out what your pain points are, and you're starting to figure out who is your actual like target audience. So then it leads into the next question of who are you qualified to help? And what I always like to say is I am most qualified to help the previous version of me, right? And so when I sit here and think of it is like, okay, well, I used to be a 9-to-5 worker. I used to be an accountant. I used to do these things where I felt burnt out, felt like I had no energy. I just really didn't know what I was doing with life. I had no passion, no purpose. Me now, today, 2 years later, I'm most qualified to help that version of me. Knowing that that version of me existed just means that there's other people out there that are like me in that. So just knowing who am I qualified to help. And so from there, it's like, what kind of value do you want to provide or help people with, right? So like for me, just kind of going off of that example is like, okay, well, what kind of value did I want to provide to other people? In the beginning, I just wanted to have people open their awareness to being able to see that there is something better in life that they can do that isn't what society tells you, right? That you are able to create a life by design, that you are able to start thinking and having a purpose outside of what everyone else tells you, you know? So that for me was like, what kind of value I wanted to provide. Now you're 2 years later, right? Now the type of value I want to provide is like the realistic blueprints of what it takes to go out and create income online. So my target audience has shifted, and yours will too over the course of time. But focus on the present and focus on who you are now and showcasing that so you feel in most authenticity when you are talking or posting or doing anything like that, because you are being present with who you are. You're showing people where you're going, but you're helping your past version of you when you are bringing people into business. Type of 1 in the chat, is that starting to kind of make sense of like your brand identity and what you are doing with social media? Okay, cool. I love that. I love that. And so basically with that, right, is like we're talking about where we're going, where we're headed, where we're at now, who we were before, right? But what is your desired lifestyle? Because yes, we can post about all of the business stuff. We can post about all of like the amazing things that we see here in this platform, but the type of lifestyle that you live will attract other people that want your same lifestyle, right? So whether it's your desired lifestyle or your current lifestyle, how are you incorporating that into your social media so you can be more relatable to people, you know, kind of going back to who are you? That's who you're showcasing. You don't have to like be so transparent on social media where you're documenting literally every second of your day, but you can show people just main topics that you want to show in terms of who you are now, where you're going, and who you were before, and why this is going to be the game changer for you, especially when we are coming with this launch. So I wanted to go through some mindset on the social media side of things, of like all of that, so you have the baseline as we're going through like these posts. And so yes, you guys will have access to this. I still highly recommend writing notes on everything I'm talking about now, so that you can kind of come back to this and like reference this, just as like a guideline. But basically day 1, right, is like you're making a shift. You're proclaiming to your social media that you are making this shift, right? And so I highly recommend using TikTok and Reels. Why? Because TikTok will push your content out to the people that are looking for your content. The more specific you are, the more authentic you are, the more TikTok will push out your post. Same with Reels, right? When you post a photo on Instagram, it's only getting pushed out to your followers. It's not actually getting pushed out to like new people. So yes, posts and photos might be great, but Reels are where you're going to get way more interaction from brand new people that you have yet to connect with, you know, but also still showing your current followers what you're doing in your business and your life, just through TikToks and Reels. So primarily, this is going to be focused on TikTok as well as Reels, as well as posting stories on Instagram, because once people come onto your page, if you have something on your story, then they can kind of react to that. And then you can start a conversation from those reactions you get on your story. So the first day, day 1, is just like something like I'm no longer settling, or I decided to kill off the old version of me. I know that's a vision I have for me, is like the old me is dead, you know, something that's going to grab people's attention of like, I'm doing something new. But you don't need to say I'm doing something new. You can just reframe it of I'm no longer settling, the old me is dead, or just something that's gonna like catch people's attention and allude to that you're doing something new. In this, you can either do a talking video, you can go outside and take a like 10, 15-second long video of something that's pretty, either in your backyard, in your community. If you're out and about at the store, you can put words on the screen from this. But in the caption or in the video, you can talk about, I'm doing something new. This is why I'm doing something new. And invite them to start thinking of what is something new that they can do in their own lives to get to the next level for themselves, right? Is like inviting them to follow along with your journey and stay connected to you, but also get them thinking about like what it is that they might need more of in their life. And if they resonate and relate to you, they're going to be highly more likely to follow along with your journey. So in doing that, it's just like posting a reel or a TikTok that's just kind of proclaiming like you're doing something new, creating a little curiosity, stating like, why are you doing that, and pivoting into follow me along for this, having a call to action of like, click the follow button if you're new here. I'm going to be sharing my journey. Thinking of like people like to invite them to think bigger too, just kind of going into like, I don't know what about you, but for me, this is what I needed more of, X, Y, and Z. I needed more financial freedom. I needed another way to increase my lifestyle. What is something you're looking for more of? That can be your call to action, and have them drop it in the comments to boost engagement. Just helping them get into that mindset of like how they can think bigger and why they should follow along with your journey. And then in your stories, you can actually post a question of like, would you ever start a side hustle? You can post a poll where it would be like, would you ever start a side hustle of like X, Y, and Z? Yes, no, what is a side hustle? Like different engagements that people can react with that can then start a conversation from that story. You can show behind the scenes, like when you guys are going through the onboarding system, when you're on this call, when you are going through the actual education, the scanners, anything and everything of like you sitting there and like your lifestyle and what it is that you're doing, you can post. Like if you're going for a walk, if you have like a little mindset thing that you're watching like or listening to a self-development podcast, like just go up on your stories. And I would recommend posting, and I'll go over this at the end of like recommend how many times you should post, which would be like about 3 to 6 times per day on your story to keep the engagement high on that. So this is just kind of going through, you know, the identity shift, stating that you're starting something new to give people a story to follow along with. That's why people will follow you on social media, is you give them something to follow along with. So day 2 is the problem I faced. So basically going through like what you are currently struggling with, whether that's financial stress, burnout, lack of purpose, telling people I knew I had to make a change, you know, like just giving them a specific problem. You can even give a specific example. Like for myself, you know, I just stated earlier on this call of like, well, I just literally didn't even have the energy to go and make dinner when I got home from work. And I was sick of feeling that way. And I knew I needed a purpose, and I knew I had to make a change. And so having that be like, what changes do you want to make as your call to action? Or let's get connected if you felt the same way. Or put like focus in the chat if you know you need to focus on something new, or stress, or giving them something to engage with your post, right? A call to action. And if you guys have questions on what a call to action is, I can break that down. But I just wanted to put that on there. So like story ideas, like if you are physically writing out your goals, you know, at the beginning of this call, we went through the onboarding system and we talked about setting goals, right? Writing down your goals list. You can share that with other people on your story of like, I am not settling. Now look at me. I got an entire roadmap for where my goals are, where I'm headed. You can have a question on there. If money wasn't a worry, what would you be doing? This will promote more engagement on your story. And what's really cool is when people actually answer those questions, you can reply as another story post and like elaborate on like what they said of like, oh my gosh, like this really hit home for me. And I really agree with what they said. And this is why I'm super excited for what I've been working on, you know, going up there and doing that. So putting question boxes on there, putting polls on there, showing your goals, showing people you're not staying stagnant. So then day 3, TikTok and reel that you can post is what changed everything for me, or the opportunity that opened my eyes. So I'm just going to eliminate this part. We're going to kind of focus on wellness legacy movement, because in like our posts and everything, we don't necessarily want to be mentioning like a company or opportunity in that. You guys want to showcase like our community and what we offer as the community, because this is a lifestyle platform, but we're doing it together. And when people are seeing like you are a part of something bigger than you, then they want to link arms with you and be a part of that something bigger. Type a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. I just want to make sure I'm getting everyone to follow along with me, everything I'm going over, like showcasing to follow along with something bigger than you. Okay, amazing. So that's kind of like the breakdown of like wellness legacy movement, right? Is we're creating a legacy through our wellness, and we are having a movement. You want people to join the movement and make everything just more wellness focused, becoming the best version of you, using a lifestyle platform like JIFU to be able to do that, right? Is like this opportunity changed and opened my eyes to all of the things that I've been struggling with to finally come to light. So you can do a poll. Have you ever thought about investing or earning money online behind the scenes? Yeah, like if you guys ordered the $360 pack, you will get physical products that get shipped to you. You can do a trading call if you are going through the travel portal, trying to like visualize like a place that you're wanting to head to, in terms of like if you're wanting to go to Greece or you're wanting to go to Arizona or you're wanting to go somewhere warm, planning out a trip and you're in the travel portal and you're like, oh my God, look at this deal. You post it on your story. Share that with other people because they might be like, how did you get that big of a deal on travel? And then you can use your free trial passes that you get when you first start to then send to other people so they can see that travel platform in itself. So just getting behind the scenes, like just showing your lifestyle, right? These are just ideas, but this is just kind of the flow of like, how do you launch? And also I'll give you guys at the end, like different people who I know have just recently launched something new that you guys can go and study and look at their pages and be able to implement what they've done. But I know I'm talking like forever here, so I'm gonna keep going. So day 4 is just like a lifestyle preview, you know, like highlighting the lifestyle that you're wanting to create, you know, the community aspect. Like for those of you in person in Wisconsin right now, like go outside, take a little video of guys like just hanging out outside, like all of you looking at the camera, like hanging out, having fun, travel, you know, for myself, I'm out in Miami traveling right now. I'll be going outside, going to a pool later today. That will be my lifestyle, that I can just take and I can use as a reel, right? And use a trending sound, clips of real life or B-roll, and then you can add captions on it. Like if you guys didn't know, in Instagram, when you're looking at the reels, in the bottom left corner, there will be an up arrow for trending sounds. Highly recommend using trending sounds. Instagram will push it out more when you are using a trending sound. But then if you did like a B-roll thing, you can put on the screen like a quote that you had read or a quote that you had heard just on the screen. And then in your caption, you can kind of elaborate on that, right? Is like, I'm trying to think of an example on the fly here, but when it comes to like posting a quote, right, is like, okay, if it makes money, it makes sense. That can be the quote that you put on your reel over top of the video you go outside and take, right? And then in the caption, you can be like, I didn't really understand what this quote meant, is if it makes money, it makes sense until, and then dot, 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 and then put an arrow down for the caption so people expand and read upon it. And then tell your story of like, well, I didn't really realize that money was just an energetic thing. Wherever I spend my energy is where money comes in. And if it makes money, it's making sense for me because now I'm living in full alignment and authenticity for myself. And now I'm going to be making more money from a place of purpose rather than burnout or lack or scarcity. You know, like this is just an example. I've kind of had this brand and this vision in my head. So don't feel like you have to remember everything of what I just said. These are just like getting you to have ideas of what you can do in terms of showcasing a lifestyle and what you're working towards. Ideas is like a countdown sticker. So you can use this. You guys, we're gonna actually have more opportunity calls this upcoming week. So you could even do a countdown sticker for like our opportunity call. So people reach out to you and be like, well, what's this countdown for? What are you launching? You can then send them the Zoom registration link for our opportunity call and they can hop on that call just from the curiosity you're creating. You're showing that you're launching something. You can hop on your story and talk about like, why did you choose this vehicle for long-term wealth? Well, I mean, after everything that we saw, right, is like, you can use it to start making money with either e-commerce or day trading. You can learn how to build long-term wealth through crypto, stocks, or different things like that without making income claims, just learning the skill sets, right? But then you can also just elaborate and expand on that is like, okay, well, I want to be the best version of me in all aspects of life. Like I wanted to realize how I can make money so I could invest back into myself and then create more meaningful experiences with travel. That is like my kind of one-liner is like, you learn how to make money so you can invest into yourself, so that you can create meaningful experiences and have a longevity filled life with feeling like the best version of you, right? And so that is what you can say for like long-term wealth. You can go with your reasons why, because we all have different reasons why. But when it comes to social media, you want it to be most authentic to you, right? So whatever this is provoking in your thought process and like in your mind, like lean into that and be confident in sharing that version of you. Too many times people are too scared to show who they truly are. And then we see Instagram or TikTok as just like a highlight reel instead of being authentic. And I can tell you 9 times out of 10 on TikTok, the more authentic you are, the more your content's going to get pushed out. So don't be afraid to lean into showing people who you are through your social media brand. So day 5 is like the invitation, right? Is like we're launching something big. And your reel with the call to action, DM info, DM info, like to get more information on what you're launching something big. And you guys, like, if you need specific examples, we can come up with captions. We can work together, like, especially if you're new to social media and you're like, okay, I'm on day 5, Marissa. I don't know what I'm going to say with this. I have a vision, and we can work together to tweak that and do that stuff together. But just like we're launching something big, this is changing the game when it comes to up leveling and becoming the best version of you. Like highlighting on, yeah, like making money online, creating meaningful experiences, bettering your health, anything that it relates to you of why you're excited about it. And then showing like DM info. If you guys haven't ever seen Tiffany's social medias, she does a phenomenal job when it comes to like actually like creating curiosity, creating excitement within her posts and having that call to action. So she's a really good person to follow along with as well. But also on that day 5 story ideas, like I'm mentoring 5 women to launch online businesses this month. Do you want to be one of them? Or are you going to be one of them? Or who's the top 5 or the first 5 to respond? I'm personally mentoring, you know? Based on if you have credibility within this online vehicle already. If you've been doing it for, I'd say like 6 months plus, you could kind of frame it like that of like the next 5 people I'm taking on for free to mentor for online business, things along those lines. So you can kind of see who's got a feel for what you're doing. And so then add like a DM me call out sticker. So like that just means like on your story, there is like different stickers you can post where you can be like, click this sticker if you want me to DM you and talk about what I'm doing. And then people will click that sticker and then you can start conversations from there. I can show you guys, like if you guys have anything personal, most of you are pretty familiar with it, which is why I'm saying just reach out to me and I can help you with that. But then day 6, you guys saw in like our team chats, right? We have results and testimonials. We have that group in there so you guys can go through, screen record, share it, and be able to show like what other people are doing in terms of a win. Also social proof, right? You can be on like say a scanner, for example, you just are on a scanner. You pull up your phone, you just take a video of like, hey, look at this scanner. I'm seeing entry on this trade. I'm entering into this trade. This is what it looks like on my phone. And here's what ended up happening. Like showing people how simple these systems can be. Figuring out what it is that you want to focus on yourself, you know. You can kind of just do a short little video of yourself. You can just do a screen recording and a voiceover. There's different avenues that you can go down, but you want to show people that it's working, right? And so that's why we're heavy on pushing the results and testimonials just right now, because this will be helpful for not only yourself, but for other people too. So take advantage of putting stuff in our results and testimonials chat so you'll have that. For story ideas, you can reshare that on your story, a team win, add a link for a DM or a call to action of like want results like this, whether it's trading, whether it's the health and wellness, whether it's like, hey, do you want deal savings like this for your travel? Like you can focus on travel too. There's not one specific way to go out and build this business. It's whatever's most in alignment for you. And so lastly, I have on here day 7, call to action and application day. This is for you and this is where you want to get super clear on the target audience, the people you want to help. and what it is that you are helping people out with when it comes to launching this new thing of like, this is for you if X, Y, and Z. This is for you if you're sick of working a 9-to-5 job, if you're sick of feeling financially burdened no matter how many hours you work. This is for you if you've been feeling fatigued, burned out, your body just isn't performing the way that it is needs to, and you want to get to the cellular level of how to fix your health, right? And directly ask them to like reach out to you or drop me in the comments or drop something in the comments so you know there's a person interested, so you can start a conversation and invite them to look at our opportunity, whether that be a one-on-one call, an opportunity call, or anything along those lines, or a video recording. And so like story ideas, yeah, final 24 hours to join this launch wave. You know, we're going to kind of expand and grow from the social media, but I just wanted to give you guys a blueprint of what you guys can do to implement this social media launch alongside your traditional launch. And you guys shouldn't be taking more than 30 minutes to an hour a day on social media. It really, once you get the hang of it, it will very much be plug and play that you guys can do this. So this is just the baseline and we will expand on it. Obviously, we have social media training in our education as well that goes over a lot of Instagram and how to scale it. But we will start pushing a lot of social media as well, because that's going to be huge with our outreach. So these are just like the posting tips for business builders. Like if you are building this business, what should you be doing on a day-to-day basis? And this will kind of lead into the next individual who's going to come up here and just share what you can be doing on a day-to-day basis. But I just wanted to share with you guys, like, post once a day minimum on both TikTok and Instagram on a reel. You can literally use the same exact video between Instagram as well as TikTok when you are posting them. So you only have to make one video to post it on both platforms. So you don't have to do double the work. Use your personal language, you know, speak like you're texting a friend, right? Like what I was talking about, the authenticity, the genuineness in your messaging and who you are, being confident in who you are. Always really having a call to action, commenting on the post, DMing, watch my stories for updates, you know, asking them to just share this with a friend. You know, I find having a call to action to share this with a friend who might need to hear it actually works well, because more eyes are getting on your reel and it will boost the engagement up on it as well. But also make sure you're posting on your stories too, because the more new people you have on your page, the more people are going to see your stories, and then that will help them base the decision on if they want to follow you along or not. So just stay consistent with all of that. I know I see some things here in the chat. Yes, connect your platforms and they can cross share. Yes, that's huge. So that is my part for how to launch on social media. I'm going to drop my number in the chat for, I believe all of you have my number, but in case you don't, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions on anything with social media. But right now we're going to dive into, now that we know what we're doing with the onboarding system, with the chats, we know what the platform is and how we can leverage the education as well as the scanners. We know how we can launch traditionally. We know how we can launch on social media. Now, what is it that you need to be doing on a day-to-day basis so you can maximize this launch for yourself and you can start making the progress towards those goals, those higher level goals that I know each and every one of you has? Let's kick it off with a bang and give you guys those order of operations that you should do on a day-to-day basis. And there is not a better person to go over this with you guys than Sydney, who is phenomenal at talking about what can you do to maximize your results on your daily actions. So Sydney, take it away, girl.
Hello. Thank you, Marissa. I really appreciate all of that. It's crazy, like, because she was talking about the social media launch and things like that, and social media is huge. Like, there's some girls that I followed for a while that have transitioned over to JIFU, and I was genuinely really interested. Like, their TikToks and their reels that they would make caught my attention. Like, was telling Marissa yesterday, like, they use those scanners like crazy. And one of the things that really caught my attention was one of the girls, she's like, she lives out in the UK, and she was like, okay, if I can make $4 in the market, I'm gonna buy this Toblerone chocolate. If I can't, then I'm not gonna buy it. And then she went and showed the scanner on the JIFU platform, and she showed exactly how to use the scanner. And then she's like, okay, I made my $4. And she's like, you're coming with me with the Toblerone chocolate. And there she was. And so like, that's something where that caught my attention. Like that's something that we can do here in the US, like for people who like Starbucks, where it's like, okay, come with me to make $5 to go buy my Starbucks drink today or something like that. So I like the whole launch on social media, like I absolutely love it. Like it's a great way to get a really big gauge on a lot of people. But I know that Marissa was talking about me talking about like kind of now that we have everything, like what are kind of like your daily goals and things like that. And so I always start out every day, like one of my real estate clients actually gave me this where it's like a to-do list every day, but I write out what I'm like, what I want to accomplish every single day, even though a lot of the stuff is sometimes the same thing, but it's like that it gives you that like kind of energy boost and like confidence boost, like when you can go and like physically check off that you did something on your to-do list for the day. And so for business purposes, like with the business you had heard Brandon talk about, Brandon, he messages 10 new people and he follows up with 10 old people. That's 20 people that you just talked to right there in one day. And so that's something where you want to make sure that you're just doing your 10 and 10 because it's kind of similar to real estate. You just kind of want to keep a funnel of people. Maybe they're not going to be interested in right away, or you don't see it's the right opportunity to talk with them right away. But you kind of just have a whole bunch of people that you're talking to and you have all these different conversations and things like that. And then your social media, you want to post 3 to 5 times a day. And you want to mix it up. Like you can look at any of our social medias to see what we post. You can do affirmations, you can do stuff about JIFU. I know that I had dropped in the chat yesterday. Nick Gomez, the month of March, the month of April, he had 0 losing trades for his crypto callouts. That's huge. You can post that to your story and be like, the month of April was an amazing month for crypto callouts. And so you can post that to your story. So you have something about mindset, positivity, affirmation, and then you have something about the actual platform. You can do a poll or kind of like a question thing to people's interest, kind of what Marissa was talking about in that social media launch. And then you can do like lifestyle too. Like I had posted like I'm one to just like eat my yogurt, I'll grab a bowl and I won't make it look all pretty. But I was like, okay, I'm like, I feel like I could make this look pretty artsy in for social media where I grabbed a mason jar and I did like yogurt, blueberries, and then I did like almond butter and I just kind of layered it. And I had people swipe up on that and they asked me for the recipe. There was no recipe. I just made that, but that started a conversation with people where I then could ask them, how are they doing? What are they up to? And it was people that I haven't talked to in a very long time that were wanting a recipe, but there was no recipe. I just was like, okay, we'll be creative for an Instagram story here today. I took an extra 2 minutes out of my day for doing that. And then personal development. Everyone has a different like definition of personal development. I think that it's really good to mix it up in terms of what it is that you're listening to. Because I know that like audiobooks is a really big one that people really like. I know if you're needing like a good audiobook, I can drop some in the chat or you can reach out to me as well. If you want to level up your skills in terms of like actual network marketing skills, you can go through the onboarding system and go through the different platforms, whether it's the old way of network marketing or like the more traditional standard way, or if you want to do the social media, you can learn about that. Alex Morton, who majority of you guys have seen on a call, in our business. He is someone who's helping us. You guys can go and listen to some of his audios that he has on Apple Music or Spotify or any of the podcasts that he has out there on YouTube. That's another form of personal development. So you kind of want to mix it up, but at least have 30 minutes a day. Like I used to be someone where I like to listen to music when I worked out, but now I like listening to personal development when I work out because it's just a different type of energy kind of thing. Like you're doing something that's already really good for your body and you're feeding your body with positivity. Your body's hearing everything that's like positive. So it's kind of like a really good mixture and combination of everything. One of the things that I always say is like when you're doing personal development, make sure that you're doing something else productive with it. That's why like I'll work out where I'm doing two things, or if you're working on your 10 and 10 for the day, have personal development going on in the background because maybe you think of like some other ideas and things like that. And then you want to make sure that you're using the products and services. I love that, Tiffany. Yes, cleaning the house or driving. You want to make sure that you're using the products and services. And so how I had shared with you, like the girl that caught my attention with the scanners at JIFU, you want to make sure that you're using those because then you can talk with people and like you can build your own testimonial as well. I know that when we had first moved over and Marissa and I were kind of testing everything out, I was really intrigued by the scanners and I was like, okay, I want to hop on these sessions and I want to try to figure out these scanners. I made like $30 off of 2 trades from the scanners. Am I going to say you're going to make money off of every single trade from a scanner? No, but I was like, okay, I'm like, that's pretty cool actually, where I just followed what it was telling me to do and I let it be. I really truly believe that people should hop on the live sessions as well. I was on Nick Gomez's yesterday and just hearing how he talks and like he genuinely really wants to educate people. Like Nick is one of the top traders like in the world and like you can even like look it up and you can see it too, but you can hop on there and be like, I get to hop on a live session with someone who I I think Marissa, was it that he finished top 300 or something like that? Okay, he finished the top 200 out of 60 million traders on Bybit the month of April. Like that's huge. Like that's something that you can like talk to people about and be like, I'm genuinely learning from the best of the best. So like hop on those live sessions, get familiar with their trading strategy and all of those different things where it's like they genuinely take their trading very seriously here. They want to see their people win and they hold their educators to a very, very high standard. So I would make sure that you're really hopping on those live sessions to genuinely learn about it. And then the last part is kind of making sure that you're doing your group chats. If you're someone who likes to do group chats or you're still in the phase of doing group chats or you need a transition with something where you're like, oh, I'm kind of stuck with this person. Maybe they need to hear someone else talk or something like that. Reach out to any of us. We're all here. We're all here to help. So do your group chats. You might not like it's a transition. You might not know everything about the platform right now, but you're like, I get the general concept, but maybe I can't answer all of their questions. Get your people in group chats. We're more than happy to help with anything and everything. But my biggest thing is that making sure that you do your checklist and that you set up like your daily disciplines. Like I still write out my like I need to contact 10 people for the day or I need to post on social media and things like that. Like I still do that because otherwise it's just going to skip through my brain. Like I was telling Marissa yesterday, I'm like I wrote out my to-do list and I was like, I did a whole bunch, but I wasn't doing the stuff on my to-do list. I went to go back and look at it. I was like, I did a lot today, but I did about like 2 things on my to-do list out of like the 20 things that I needed to do. And so I was like, okay, but that reshifted my focus because I was like, okay, I was busy, but I wasn't busy with the things that I needed to be busy with. And so that's kind of where I think that people should really start their day with the to-do list because then you can go into your day with intention of, okay, what do I have that I need to do today? Marissa, is there anything else that you kind of wanted me to touch on with the daily goals or anything like that or daily disciplines?
No, I think you did a phenomenal job. And yes, just tracking what you're doing every single day, is going to be huge. I know we have some people here that may not want to be like completely into the business building side. Obviously, the majority of us are wanting to launch this thing huge, but like even as a trader, like you are going to get the results from the platform. Like that is why we're confident in moving over here is like Sydney was talking about, we're working with some of the top traders in the world. Even in a week, we have seen such tremendous results just utilizing the scanners, the trade ideas. I made $1,400, no income claims on a trade that from one trade alert this past week. And so it's just really incredible to have the value and the systems with that, but also be able to track that of like, I'm holding myself accountable to hopping on one live session. I'm holding myself accountable to checking the JIFU app and all of that, but then also implementing the things you need to do for business, you know, what your goals are, whatever is an alignment towards your goals, which is why we set that in the forefront of setting your goals. Then you can reverse engineer, okay, this is what my goal is. Now, what do I need to do on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis in order to stay on track and hold myself accountable to hitting those goals, no matter what that looks like for you? Because in this entire thing, it's like full of abundance. We've all seen this, like all this past week, from anything from the product, services to the business side, like everything is very much in alignment. So I just wanted to hit on that. And so it was a really great breakdown of like how to track your daily non-negotiables for yourself to stay on track. So thanks, Sydney, for doing that. The next individual that I'm going to bring up here is just going to help you guys get into a better mind frame, a mindset when it comes to like launching something in terms of like doing something new, what it takes to own your life and own your business and own your results and take full accountability for yourself, but be in the best mindset you possibly can to go out and do that. So there is a very special individual on this call who's coming up next. I've been working with her for, I believe, over almost 2 years now. It has been, which is crazy. She is a certified natural coach as well as practitioner. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I know you're going to introduce yourself. You have so many amazing, beautiful things. She's been doing this for over a decade and has her own coaching business, health and wellness business, as well as coaching. It's just, she's an amazing lady. So tune in for this mindset. Full ears, full attention on her, and she's going to be dropping some insane value. So Tiffany, come on up here, lovely.
Thank you guys. I'm super excited. So yes, I'm Tiffany. I can't believe that Marissa and I have been working together for 2 years. So fun fact, about 2 years ago, I reached out to Marissa and I said, hey, I'm supposed to be doing a 2-day mastermind and all my people that I had signed up to do it just bailed on me. Can you jump in? And she goes, sure. I'm like, cool. Here's your topics. Here's your scripts. Just run with it. And she's like, okay. And here we are just continuing to build a legacy, which I think is phenomenal. I got to work with Sydney a few times, but her and I have recently worked together one-on-one, and I'm super excited about that. So I'm really excited to be here. My name is Tiffany. I am a certified natural health professional and transformational life coach, and I'm also an angelic Reiki master teacher as well. So I do like a lot of the energetics of things. I do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of just empowerment. I do mainly focus on women. Sorry, guys. But I'm combining my skills and expanding to both genres. So I'm really excited about that. Can we just take a moment to stretch out, shake things up a little bit before we dive into this mindset? Because I know we've been sitting for a while. And I want you guys awake. I want you guys pumped up. I want you guys really feeling into this. So even if you're hanging out at Brandon's house, like just kind of shake things up a little bit. How freaking fire has today been? You guys have been getting so much information. We are so excited to be running this launch with you guys. And I want to actually take a moment to just talk about really getting into that CEO mindset, because we are building our own legacies as a team, as individuals. We're working one-on-one with some of the best leaders that we can possibly have. And the value that we're creating with all of this is just incredible. It's so incredible. I never would have thought we would be where we're at, even if you asked me about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I knew something was brewing, but I never imagined it would be this freaking epic. So I'm super excited. So I want to talk about not just strategy here, guys, okay? I'm here to light a match under your mission, all right? So this launch is not just another thing to add to your do list, all right? It's the start of your CEO era. It's the season where you decide to stop dabbling and to start dominating, okay? Because we're here to build something bigger than checks, ranks, or even titles. We are here to build a legacy, and that is just incredible. So if you're ready to rise into a whole new level of leadership, discipline, and determination, that is what this call is going to be about. I did drop a digital link for you guys so you can really start stepping into that CEO vision for yourself and just getting really clear on what that looks like, because you are now the one in charge. You are now the one who is creating your lifestyle, that is creating everything that you desperately desired and have been chasing for years and just didn't know it. Okay. So we want to get really clear on why this matters. And I'm going to be real with you. Anybody can launch a business, okay? Anybody can post a story, anybody can share about a great opportunity, anybody can sign up a customer. But it takes a different breed to build something that genuinely lasts. And this is why it matters for you, your family, and your future, okay? It takes resilience. You're not always going to feel motivated. You're going to have really difficult days that you might want to throw in the towel. But this is why you must be disciplined, because those days are where you can take something and allow it to destroy you, or take that opportunity and allow it to help you grow even stronger. All right. This is why you must be disciplined, because discipline picks up when motivation runs out. It takes determination, not the kind that works hard for a few days and burns out, but the kind that gets you up every single day knowing I was called to do this and I will not stop until it's done. This is no longer a hobby. So we want to get rid of that hobby energy and we want to step into that CEO energy. We want to find that confidence. We want to find your voice, because regardless if somebody else is doing the same thing as you, we each have our own personal connection, of people. And we are a worldwide legacy that we're building, okay? The connection to people is endless. And so we really need to step into that. We really need to just be open. And we also need to support the crap out of each other, guys, because it can get tough. You're going to have people who talk. And my thing is, let them. People are, and Marissa shared this the other day in her stories, people are going to hate on you. People are going to not agree with what you have to share. They're going to tell us it's a scam. They're going to give you everything in the book to keep making excuses for themselves instead of showing up and deciding to choose different. We've been on a few calls where, Alex has shared with us that the world is changing and shifting, and we are changing into more of that digital currency. We're changing more into that digital, work and all the things. And it's time for us to stand up and start paving the way and making it the best that we can with this legacy that we're creating. Okay. So here's where the mind shift comes in. You are no longer an employee of your goals. Yes, we want your goals. We want you to have clear, tangible goals. If you need help with setting those, hit me up. I do this for a living. Let me know. But we are no longer an employee to our goals. Instead, we are becoming the CEO of our goals. We are in charge, because CEOs don't wait for perfection. Perfection is a myth. What is perfect to you is going to be different for what my perfect is. There's no true perfection. So don't wait for it. The second thing, don't negotiate with excuses. You're going to have your ego subconscious step in and saying, why are you chosen for this? Who are you to step out and do this? Who are you to? No, tell it to F off, okay? You are in charge of you. You are in charge of the choices you make, the decisions you do, and that is where the CEO comes in, and we do not tolerate negotiations with excuses, okay? The next thing is, you do not need permission to rise. Society has trapped us. We have been in a fear-driven culture far too long. And as much as I hate to admit it, this last episode with the Rona has completely allowed us to see how confined and controlled we truly are as an entire whole in the world. And so we do not need permission to rise. We just need to get up and do it. Okay. CEOs take action. CEOs run on visions, not just feelings. Okay. The best version of ourselves is literally right on the other side of that fear. And we need to be able to face it head on. CEOs lead from the front, even when nobody is clapping yet. I recently shared in our business chat, God sent me strangers because he realized that my people weren't showing up for me. All right. And it couldn't be further from the truth. I love my people to death, but they just are not supporting like I was really hoping that they were going to do. So now it's my decision to step out, rise up, lead from the front. Even though I don't have a whole lot of people behind me, I'm still doing the same thing. Okay. And we have to start doing the same for ourselves and for our teams. That is where the difference maker is in how you show up, regardless what other people are doing. As mentioned before too, most people are just watching us and they want to see us succeed, because if they see us succeed, they too can then believe that they can succeed. All right. So it might be quiet right now, but as you continue rolling in this momentum, you're going to be booming. Your voice is going to start projecting, and people are going to start wanting to know what you're doing different. So the game plan for those discipline actions, I actually have these for you guys in a little cheat sheet that I draft out, is 1, setting your non-negotiables. Okay. What are 3 to 5 daily actions you can commit to this week? It could be DMs, invites, follow-ups, team reach outs, whatever that is, create your non-negotiables for the week. 2, time block your CEO hours. Okay. You have to put it in on your calendar. Treat it like a meeting and never cancel. All right. Actually create your own CEO time blocks within your calendar and don't delete them. Actually stick to them. Okay. The third one is going to be lead boldly. Be public about this. You can't hide and lead at the same time. So this week, we're going to have to start showing up and putting ourselves out there, and that can be really intimidating and scary. But you know what? You have an incredible group of leaders behind you that are going to support the crap out of you, and we are here for you and figuring out how you can do that in a way that is aligned to you, aligned to the way you want to be within your own business, and also get you feeling confident to do so. Okay. The fifth one is to measure and reflect. Every night, ask yourself, did I actually show up like the CEO I'm committing to being? If yes, celebrate that. Okay. You have to celebrate yourself. All the steps, all the wins, all the things you like accomplished, got marked off your list. Celebrate the crap out of yourself, guys, because that's going to continue to boost your motivation. It's going to continue getting yourself in that energy of just, heck yes, we're running with this. All right. So celebrate. If you did not, that's okay. Give yourself some grace, guys. Running a business and a family and all the things can sometimes bring in some curveballs that you weren't expecting, and you might not get everything accomplished like you needed to. Give yourself grace about that. Recalibrate and say, okay, I didn't get this finished. How can I adjust? All right. There's no shame in that. The difference between a person who gives up and a CEO is, how can you continue to pivot and move? I call it the entrepreneurial shuffle. I mentioned that with Sydney. You know, you just have to shift, you have to adjust, you have to be able to pivot, and that is okay. We got to get comfortable with doing that. So I'm going to finish out this last little bit with just kind of a declaration almost. And so I really believe in the power of just mindset and, saying and, quotes and all the things. And so I just had a declaration that I wanted to share for you guys. And if you want to repeat this out loud, go for it. If you want to do it in your head, perfect too. But just really feel into this energy, okay? So I am ready. I am determined. I am disciplined. I am the CEO of my life and business. I will not shrink. I will not stall. I will not stop. I am building a legacy. And this is just the beginning. I'll drop that in the builder chat for you guys, but I want you guys to say this out loud. Continue to repeat it to yourself. Start allowing yourself to feel it, all right? Because this is the energy that separates dreamers from doers. This is your time. I believe in you. The team believes in you. We wouldn't have you here if we didn't believe in the endless possibilities that you have in the success in growing this business, okay? You have a great support system that has your back. Your future is already cheering you on, and we are so ready to continue rising with you. Let's get this launch going. Let's lead like we were born for this, because we were definitely born for this.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Can I get some sevens in the chat for Tiffany, you guys? That was an insane mindset. You know, everything that she just said is like just taking that next step and becoming that future version of you, becoming that leader and stepping in with full alignment into it. And I just love and appreciate you so much, Tiffany, and of everything we touched on, because this was so value packed. We just want to make sure you guys have the roadmap and the track to run on so you can go out and absolutely take this wherever you want to take this in terms of building the business, but also to get into the product, services, and everything and take full advantage of everything you now have at your fingertips, because this is absolutely insane, you guys. So appreciate every single one of you that hopped on the call. Thank you, Alex, again for hopping on here. So after this call, you guys, I'm going to drop in our team chat the resources that we use for today, you know, like my social media launch plan, Tiffany's mindset that she did, and any other resources that we had brought up in terms of like the onboarding. You guys now know where to find that in the new members chat, but I will be dropping the recap in the weekly calendar and links, as well as the family chat. And all I ask from you guys is just drop something that you gained value from today in our family chat, in the group. Let's build up that culture, build up that community, start getting to know each other in that chat, and let's make this a family. And so with all of that, right, we have this recording that I'm going to drop in the chat as well. But one thing that we're going to do is we're going to have team calls every Sunday. So tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow, Sunday, May 4th at 8 p.m. Central, we are doing a team call. On that team call, we will be dropping with you guys all of the team calls that we will have for you guys to get extra value within our organization and being able to take advantage of the product, services, all the things, what educator sessions we're going to be hopping on together, because going and doing those live sessions together and us all dropping our wins in the chat is going to be so much fun. We're going to be dropping everything about the weekly calendar that we'll have set up so you guys can implement that. We're going to start the week off right. We're going to get into some goal setting for the week, for your launch, for everything in the products and services side as well. And then we'll also be doing just a few other things, housekeeping, Q&A, everything along those lines. So make sure you put that in your calendar tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hop on the team call and we'll be sharing with you guys everything for the week ahead. We're going to be dropping how many opportunity calls we have, what days that they're going to be on. You guys now have the recording from Wednesday that you can send out to your prospects in the meantime. But we're just going to kind of fine tune who can do some presentations. We're going to have some different people that we're going to be inviting to these launch calls, very specific. So we have a whole vision that we'll be sharing with you guys even more on tomorrow's call. I know this was a ton of information, a ton of value for you guys. If you have any questions, personally reach out to myself, Sydney, Tiffany, Ryan, Brandon, anyone here and in the chats. We can help you out with anything you need. Tomorrow we'll just lay the baseline for our first full week in launching this. So I just wanted to leave that here with you guys. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and we are going to end this call here. So we will see you guys in the chats. And we'll see you tomorrow night on our team call. So have a great day, everyone, and we will see y'all soon. Bye, guys.